This program is brought to you by Community Trust Bank, Medical City, Bid Select, and the Neely School of Business at TCU. Welcome to Platforms, the life-lifting news program for women. Now, here's your host, Siobhan Palmer.
Hey, welcome back everybody to Platforms. Continuing this afternoon our conversation with Dr. Mitch Magee. He's a cardiac thoracic surgeon here at Medical City, Dallas. Dr. Magee, this has been fascinating information. Why don't you talk just briefly, because I know it's a hot potatoes topic, on the recent proposed healthcare reform and legislation as it relates to you as a surgeon?
Well, one of the things that I mentioned at the outset was a training involved in cardiac and thoracic surgery, the 10 years of training after medical school.
10 years, wow.
4 years of college, 4 years of med school, 10 years of residency training. It's a long road, and there are certainly more lucrative paths to business that most people would choose, and many people do choose.
Right.
And particularly with the changes in healthcare, there are a lot fewer people choosing thoracic surgery as a specialty. It's just a long ways to go, a very expensive way to go, and not as financially rewarding at the end of the road as a lot of people would like. 18 years
of your life that you devote to get to this point.
Right.
Wow.
And a lot of people go into debt during that time.
Absolutely.
But I can't describe or can't imagine a more rewarding specialty, maybe not financially rewarding, but more rewarding profession than what I do. It's having the opportunity to make a huge difference in people's lives every day is indescribable, really, and I wouldn't have chosen anything else.
Really. And you sacrifice so much personally too, because you're away from your family for many, many hours. And
right. I have to admit, though, when I was a kid and deciding, even as an elementary school student, that I wanted to be a heart surgeon.
You knew back then,
yeah.
that young. Wow.
My vision of how glamorous it was, from television and from my limited exposure to the real world, was much different than it is reality.
Yeah.
But still, having said that, I wouldn't have made a different choice.
It's remarkable that you knew that young. Talk about some personal mentors in your life, some personal heroes of yours.
Well, I have to say that my dad is probably one of my biggest personal heroes and mentors. Even though there was nobody ever in my family in medicine, I was the first person to ever go into medicine.
Wow.
My dad was a school teacher, and he influenced me a great deal in my desire to serve and to try to make a difference in life and in the lives of people that I come in contact with. And all along the way, I've taken bits and pieces of my training and the various surgeons that have been involved in my training along the way. Some have been negative role models and some positive
Sure.
ones, and that's really have molded me into the surgeon and the person that I am.
That's fantastic. The young residents, I know you travel extensively, both nationally and internationally, and the future for young residents that want to go into your field of specialization, where do you see this cardiac surgery 15, 20 years down the road? Where do you see the future for your area?
Oh, I definitely think minimally invasive surgery is here to stay. I think the key to it is specialized training and a focus to be sure that compromises are not made. The best way to kill a good operation is to compromise and make it into what could be a very good operation into a bad one by choosing the wrong patient or the wrong operation for that patient. And technology will continue to evolve and facilitate the use of minimally invasive techniques in more patients.
Talk about some of the pioneers, Dr. Denton Cooley and Dr. Michael DeBakey. These must have been heroes of yours in your early years as a surgeon.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I trained I went to medical school at the University of Texas at Houston, and actually got to scrub in and operate with Dr. Cooley for a number of years when I was in medical school, and he was definitely a positive role model for me.
That's fantastic. If you hadn't gone into this line of work, what other profession do you think you might have chosen? Have you even had time to think about something like that?
I probably would have been a teacher.
Yeah.
And I love music. Music is an avocation of mine. I played in the orchestra and the band in high school and college, and even through medical school. I played percussion in some jazz bands and some rock bands, and had a lot of fun with that. And so I guess if I could have really done anything that I wanted to do, I probably would have been a professional musician. Yeah.
You're a proud dad of 4 children, like 2 boys and 2 girls. What do you hope you see the future in terms of medicine for your own kids as they're growing up and they're presented maybe with some challenges with the healthcare system or physically? Where do you see?
Oh, I just encourage my kids every day to find something that they have a passion for and pursue it. And you know, I can't say that I had any special gifts growing up. I just worked hard, and I think anybody that has something that they really want to do and want to do it bad enough and are willing to work hard enough to do it, you can do it.
That's phenomenal. And just to close, we have a couple more minutes. Any particular patient or patients that really touched you via your relationship with surgery or post-op that you've kept in touch with you? I know you've changed so many lives through the work you do here.
Well, one of the big decisions that I made a few years ago was to basically give up cardiac surgery and focus on the specialty of thoracic oncology, because there was a real void, particularly in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, in that specialty area. There had been no one previously subspecializing in that area. The mentality from years ago with Dr. DeBakey and Dr. Cooley was one of doing everything. They would do a gallbladder operation, and then a thyroid operation, a coronary bypass, and then a lung cancer. And in those days, you know, that was the thing to do. But now you can't be all things to all people. You really have to subspecialize. And so I felt there was a need for someone to specialize in thoracic oncology and to provide that void, fill that void for my patients. And I've really enjoyed that with the patients that I've been able to help. Many patients, the first patient that I performed the minimally invasive esophagectomy on here a few years ago, we stayed in touch and remained friends. And I have many patients that are friends.
I can imagine. Well, Dr. Mitch Magee, this was such a pleasure to have you on the show. Fantastic information for our viewers, and I wish you the best of luck. And it's hopefully, I'm sure we'll be talking at another time.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps this week's show. For Platforms, a life-lifting news program for women from Medical City Dallas. We'll see you next week.